And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life.
Then when you see them in the position that they were in, it's kind of like the manliness that comes out, that maybe women don't recognize it, because we can, as women, we all share this same kind of list of traits that we see that make us attracted to a man. But then we can let society tell us that it's okay for us to act that way, but we don't think it's unattractive for a woman, even though we think it's attractive for a man, if that makes sense. I just think it's a horrible thing.
So I have grandparents that were married over 50 years, and my parents have been married 50 years now. And then me and my siblings, we didn't do so well. So the fruit, like you said, Apostle Bolden, the fruit of it, of the society as a whole, it gets worse and worse with every generation. And everybody wants a happy marriage. They want obedient children, but they're never going to have it unless they do things the way the Lord intended. And, doesn't He, as our Creator, have a right to tell us our roles? And I always agreed with it, but I would be put to shame if I ever talked about, how women should be in the household, and how men are the ones that should work for the most part. And I was always, there's a shame, in this society will make you feel like that's weak and that's bad, but it's really, they want, like, the fruit of what's going on is terrible. The families, even like with the COVID lockdowns, like people were committing suicide and murdering each other, and divorces, and it's because they're not in their proper roles in the family.
I think I understand what you're saying about the shame. In other words, it's society ridicules the traditions of God. Like, that's they think it's shameful. They think it's old-fashioned. Well, to me, righteousness is old-fashioned. And if we want what was here 100 years ago, then we're going to have to do what they were doing 100 years ago. You don't get to add other stuff to the recipe and then leave some stuff out, and it's going to come out tasting the same. That's not the way it's going to work. And so we have to get back to God's original plan and His ingredients if we want the outcome that we want. And society is scrambling. They are scrambling to come up with a God society, but with a godless heart. They are scrambling to come out with the same results that God produces in His Word, but without God's Word. And it's not going to happen. God will frustrate it. God stays awake. He don't sleep for that purpose. He's determined that His way be the only way. He's determined to let everything else fail. Other than that, we can find another way to salvation. That was the whole point of the Tower of Babel. Let's find another way to heaven. Let's find another way there. And that's what we're doing in society today. We're trying to build a whole nother Tower of Babel, and every single time God comes down and confuses our language. It ain't gonna never work.
I just hope when we finally broadcast this that people gonna think what they want to think, but I just hope they realize this is not male chauvinist. No matter how much I try to convince and all this, try to get people to see it a certain way, but it's there's nothing. It's not bashing anybody. It's just going back to nature, going back to truth, what's in the Word. So I guess ain't nothing I can do about that. They go think what they want to think, but But when they get out there, I really hope people will see it for what it really is. It's not being a male chauvinist or whatever cute little term y'all have. It's just going back to basic truth. And you know what? I seen the video floating around. Y'all might have seen it. There was 2 girls wrestling. They had to be like, I guess between 7 and 9. And this little boy came out of nowhere and knocked the girl off. He had to be about maybe 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4. He knocked the girl off the other girl, and come to find out that was that girl's little brother. Now that was his nature to protect his sister. I don't know if his parents told him to look out for your sister, but let's just say it didn't. He seen somebody taking advantage of his sister. He run over there and gonna protect her. That's his nature. That's that little boy's nature to protect his older, bigger sister. And that's pretty common. I've heard about cases like that before. That the younger brother, smaller, protecting the older sister who's bigger. So that's something. That's nature. It's something in them. It's something in a boy, I guess, to be a protector. And somewhere between 5 until they get grown, they done twisted it. And for a little girl to be feminine, play with dolls, and be protected. But that's you ain't got no Bible. That's it's built in you. It's built in that boy to protect his oldest, bigger sister. That's just nature. If you never picked up a Bible, that's nature. But I really hope once this air, I just really hope people don't look at this as being chauvinistic. I can't express it enough. This is not what it's about. It's about just going back to truth.